questions?
Jrue, what's the mentality like after kind of a disappointing performance the other night? How do you guys kind of get yourself back together?
I think you're just glad we got another game so quickly. Be able to kind of feel like we prove ourselves and go out there and get a win. Just glad that we're not waiting a long time to get back out there.
What do you feel is missing overall with this group? Do you guys have the joy? Do you guys have the passion you had last year?
Yeah, I think we have the joy and the passion. I think sometimes you just go through times like this where it's a rough patch. Last year, I don't really think we did, so it's probably a bit different. But again, I think as a team, we've stayed together, we've stayed collective, and that's all we have to do is try to push through.
Go ahead.
I think when people are watching, people have used different terms like, effort or rhythm or slump, and they all kind of mean different things. But from your standpoint, do you feel like you guys are just not in a good rhythm right now? Is it a shooting thing? Like, where do you feel like?
I don't know. I just think it goes. We go through it, and maybe that's what I'll use is that sometimes you go through it. Pretty sure people in life just go through it. You're not really sure what it is, but you try to stay as consistent as possible, doing the right things, and eventually that'll carry out and be in a good way. So again, I think we show signs of that, like we're in a good rhythm or whatever you want to call it. But sometimes you just go through whatever it is that we're going through, and thank God it's January.
What are you seeing defensively with that starting group?
I think at times it looks great. At times there's some lapses, but I think we figure it out as a team, and we try to cover for each other and be able to have each other's back. So.
Your starting lineup has had a lot of trouble when you're on the court together. What do you think has gone into the struggles with that group?
I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it.
Has there been something missing with that group? Like, is it reincorporating Kristaps? Like, what kind of has gone wrong with the start? I think you're like minus 12 points for 100 possessions so far with that group, which is obviously uncharacteristic.
I don't know. Just asked the same question. I have no clue. Again, I think sometimes rhythms just don't mix or match, and again, I feel like out there, if people know basketball, we're trying to figure it out.
Is there a difference in what you're getting from the opponents this year too, with being defending champs, being certain a bit more, or is that playing it?
I don't know. I guess maybe you can use that as an excuse, or even if you see it that way. I think that the game is more physical, but I feel like we like that. I know personally, I like it when it gets more physical. You can be able to put hands on guys and be able to push them a little bit more. So. Yeah.
What makes this Orlando team such a tough matchup?
They play hard for 48 minutes. Kind of sporadic at times, a bit wild, but they kind of have like this controlled chaos, which sometimes can be hard to guard. And they crash the board. They sprint back on defense. They definitely sprint on offense to try to get bucket in transition. So hard young team that's going to play their tail off.
Scotty Barnes is like clapping on defense against Jason, or they like really celebrate that win in the locker room after, or their Twitter account trolled Jason with showing pictures of Brandon Jennings. Like, do you guys have to take some of this personal and play mad? It's like playing angry this next game, like, okay, this ain't happening again. Is that an option, or do you just, is it just one of 82? Is it, hey, we just go?
I guess it is an option. I guess all that was kind of directed towards Jason, so you might want to ask him. I know that people are always excited to play us. Every team that plays against us knows who we are, and they get up for that game. So I think as a team, we know the situation. The clapping and all that, I don't know. I feel like that's for sure. He clapped and then he got screamed, and Jason almost had a dunk, so it wasn't, I guess, that big of a deal. But you could take it personally and get angry, or you can stay consistent and try to do what you're supposed to do on the court and do the best way you can.
Go ahead.
You're not a guy who shows a lot of emotion. Do you play well angry, or do you play angry?
I do. at times. I think now it takes a lot for me to get angry, but yeah, I play pretty well.
What's the process like for you guys, kind of, that's particularly the starting five and working through this? Like, what are the conversations like, or do you just assume that you are going to be able to work through it given the pedigree who you are?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's conversations at times where it's needed. If we miss an assignment or something in transition, I don't think anybody holds back. If it's not getting back in transition or missing an assignment, well, it could even be on the offensive end. I think we talked that out, but at the same time, giving effort, knowing that the person next to me has my back, and then doing that on the offensive end, trying to make a play for somebody else.
On defense in Toronto, there were a lot of switches where it seemed like the first guy stayed on ball and the second guy thought he was supposed to switch, and you guys let somebody go free. What's happening there with the communication breakdown? Like, is the back guy supposed to call it and the first guy's not hearing it?
It could just be a miscommunication. That's probably just what it was, miscommunication.
They probably happened like 6-7 times, like in that game, and you guys.
So I'm guessing every time it was a miscommunication, but yeah, it was probably miscommunication.
But what do you think is causing that to happen more frequently this year, especially in this last stretch of
Communicate better, be more physical, on ball and off ball. I think sometimes that can even take care of the communication issue, being a little bit more physical defensively, and not just put hands on that.
Thank you.